Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you, and welcome to the Carrier Dome, the best on-campus sports facility in America, for the second half of this afternoon's NCAA Championship Tournament doubleheader between the North Carolina State Wolfpack and the University of Florida Gators. And now the starting lineups for this afternoon's second ball game. First at forward for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. They will be the visitors on the scoreboard. A 6'7" senior from Washington, D.C., wearing number 23, Benny Bolton. At forward for the Gators, 6'7" junior from Crestview, Florida, number 3, Pat Lawrence. At the other forward spot for the Wolfpack, 6'8" sophomore from Leland, North Carolina, number 52, Chucky Brown. For the Gators, 6'6" senior from Crestview, Florida, number 4, Joe Lawrence. At center for the Wolfpack, 6'10" sophomore from Kinston, North Carolina, number 33, Charles Shackelford. At center for the Gators, 7'2" freshman from Brandon, Florida, number 33, Dwayne Schutzer. At guard for the Wolfpack, 6'5" junior from Springfield, Massachusetts, number 14, Vinny Del Negro. For the Gators at guard, 6-foot senior from Quincy, Florida, number 5, Andrew Bolton. At the other guard spot for the Wolfpack, 6-foot junior from Annapolis, Maryland, number 35, Quentin Jackson. And at the guard spot for the Gators, 6'4" junior from Gainesville, Florida, number 11, Vernon Maxwell. The head coach of the North Carolina State Wolfpack, Jim Valvano. The head coach of the Gators, Norm Sloan.
We're just a moment away from tip-off in this first round of NCAA tournament action. We'll return with the opening tip after these messages. Here's a look at the timeouts remaining, but it is unlikely that Norm Sloan will use any of the 3 he still has coming. He wants that clock to run. Seconds remain. Florida 73, North Carolina State 64. And handling the inbounds will be Joe Lawrence.
Well, State needs a steal, a quickie. They're given a foul. Of course,
Orderity, my friend.
That's going to make a lot of guys happy that have programs that are just fair or, in a sense, schedule the big name teams at their place, and they're able to beat them. That's great. Of course, that sort of mandates no freshman basketball as well. So,
you know, Jim Valvano said that had that rule been in effect back in 1983, they would never have had Lorenzo Charles.
That's right. I did read that.
Maxwell cans 2.
They've been tough on that free throw line. Of course, he's a 75% shooter. So much for the bad knee, huh?
Andy Kennedy inside to Howard. Shot won't go. Rebound, Florida, and a whistle sound.
And Howard on the follow, as you often see. The reaction for the miss. Brian Howard.
Now, this telecast is a production of NCAA Communications Department. The executive producer of NCAA Productions is Jim Marchioni. This game was produced by George Smith, directed by Billy McCoy. Productions coordinator Gina McNeil. Transportation arrangements made through Fugazi International Travel, the official travel agency for all NCAA championships. And there's a couple of nice ones for Chris Capers. North Carolina State with 35 ticks remaining.
Oh,
the hoops. Shinsis recovered off the floor by North Carolina State. And there's Lambiati with his first two of the afternoon. 27 seconds remaining.
Should be 5 seconds, yeah.
77-66. Kennedy fills it up.
Oh, they're going to call a T now, but he was trying to protect himself. Yeah, they called it, but Chris Capers was underneath. Not really an intelligent move. The Shaq going strong. You'll see him here trying to make sure it's his own man. And in a way, he's got an excuse, but can't blame the officials.
Now the technical goes down. Maxwell with still another. Vernon with 26 points on the afternoon. Well off his season high of 34. He scored earlier in the season.
Excuse me, Bill, they couldn't catch him to foul. Oh, does he have a motor?
Now this is what is known throughout basketball circles as garbage time.
Oh.
A lot of fouls. North Carolina State hoping for a prayer. They simply do not want their season to end.
It weeds out the parking lot. That's what this time of the game does.
Now for Benny Bolton. He is on the bench, having played in his final game as a collegiate player. Mike Giomi, college eligibility coming to an end. 19 points now.
Bad leg at all, huh?
Shot balls.
Chris Capers tipped it in. There's a home run play.
Here's Maxwell. He just lays it up and in. And there's the final buzzer. 28 points for Vernon Maxwell. The guard tandem, the M&M boys of Bolton and Maxwell, came alive with 11 and a half minutes remaining in this ball game to propel the Florida Gators past the North Carolina State Wolfpack 82-70. For Bill Raftery, I'm Phil Stone. The Gators will move on. So long, everybody.
We have scored for 5.5 minutes, and you see the result. They lose this. Now let's update the East bracket and show you exactly where everyone stands right now. Purdue and Florida have advanced, and as you can see, Florida gets the win over NC State. They join Notre Dame, TCU, North Carolina, and Michigan.
Maxwell scores 28. Bolton has 19. At one point in this game, it was 49-40 North Carolina State. Florida runs off 17 consecutive points. A three-pointer there by Joe Lawrence from his brother Pat underneath. Watch the good defense here. Andrew Moten on the full court pressure takes it right by the three-point line. 2-on-2. Hits the two here, and he also hit the free throw for 2 of his 19. Shinsis, Rick, I really think Dwayne Shinsis played a good game today.
I think he had a better first half, Sam, than he did a second half. And for a change, he didn't get into foul trouble. I believe he ended up with only 3.
Little give and go there with Maxwell for 2 points for Shinsis, but the high point man today for the Gators, Vernon Maxwell, who scores 28 and leads Florida to an 82-70 victory. Miraculous recovery, and Rick, the first win for the Gators in the NCAA.
Charles got the recovery, gave the Wolfpack a 9-point lead. Then Sloan calls timeout, time to regroup. Then the Gators, 17 unanswered points, down 49-40, including this three-pointer by Joe Lawrence. Drew Moten steals and a three-point play that gave the Gators the lead for good at 50-49. Remember, they were down 49-40. Vernon Maxwell was supposed to be doubtful for this one, so doubtful he can only score 28 points for the Gators. Next, the Purdue Boilermakers. Scoreboard,
injury to lead the Gators once again. But early on, it was Pat Lawrence, the surprise starter, with the three-point play for the Gators. Benny Bolton, the big man for NC State today, he backs up to hit the three-pointer here, and it's a nip-and-tuck battle all throughout the first half. Andrew Moten, the other half of the M&M show, and it was the M&M show today. He had 19 points. He gets a couple right off the glass on this one. And then it turned into the Vernon Maxwell show. Late in the first half, he gets a spinning, driving layup, and the Gators go into the locker room up by 3 points. But North Carolina State really comes out roaring as we start the second half of play. Charles Shackelford with the little jumper here. NC State is up by 9. Things are looking bad, right? Forget about it. Vernon Maxwell really takes over first. He hits a three-pointer from about 22.